We need far more than this. But I think we have to understand the power of government. What we have always been pushing for in terms of this movement is, hey, we have this ADOS vote that is the base of the Democratic Party and it's been taken for granted. But there are government programs that we benefit from. And I think we have to understand that you have to try to the extent that you can, protect some of those programs and further those programs, because what happens is it's not enough, because government has to be a fail-safe. And we find that our wealth has been falling, right? All this time, we don't have the income. And like Democrats are trying to cut government too, not nearly as much as Republicans, sorry, not nearly as much as Trump. So this idea of vote the couch, the second part about vote the couch that's a problem is this. Let me tell you what happens. Let's say ADOS decide we're not going to vote no more. What happens is they're not going to spend as much time trying to get you out to vote as they are going to try to get to the people who do vote. I can tell you, as a person who votes all the time, the amount of people who reach out to me and ask me what I like and what I don't like in terms of polling is astonishing. So like if you don't do it, they're just going to say, oh my God, the Negroes, they're not voting. Nothing's going to change in your life if you vote. And right now we're at a point where a lot of our energy is going to have to be focused locally and statewide, and that's something where your vote actually matters more than we talk about the presidency. I've always said, and a lot of conservatives get on me about it, but I do believe in big government, bigger the better. I think, and I've always said that the problem is not that the government is big. The problem is that we don't get enough in exchange for the vote. The problem is if you saw government show up in your life, I said this the other day, if you saw government show up in your life the way it shows up in your paycheck, you would not have a problem. That's the problem. And that's one thing I do agree with Trump with in terms of withdrawing from the international stage.
We ain't got no power unless we got family. They made white people into one big family. So this is the next step. If we
the creation of whiteness.
One big family of Americans, and we call European Americans the ones who took Americans' wealth, if we don't make ourselves just simple Americans and become a family, then what's the point? And I'll leave it at that.